Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here, and this is my video for the character Negan from The Walking Dead. So, is Negan going to die in Season 8? The simple answer is no. He's not going to die in Season 8. In fact, he's not going to die anywhere close to Season 8. If you read the comics, basically he's still alive. And the comics are way ahead in terms of where the show is. The show usually pretty much follows the comics loosely. So, as far as the comics go, it's about a few seasons ahead, maybe about the end of Season 10 or the start of Season 11. Now, Negan is still alive, so if they follow the comics, Negan's going to survive for a long while. He's going to be alive for several seasons. Now, they may not follow the comics, but I suspect that they will, because Negan is such a popular character. You know, everyone pretty much likes Negan. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people like Negan. He's basically as popular as Daryl is. Like, he is like the most popular character along with Daryl. So I don't think the writers are going to risk killing Negan off. The writers of the show have a tendency to listen to the fans, you know. I feel like they put Negan at the end of Season 6 because the fans were in a hurry to get Negan. So they rushed in an underweight, bearded Jeffrey Dean Morgan who couldn't shave his beard, who didn't have enough time to gain weight for the part, and they had to like shoehorn him into the finale because the fans were going crazy, telling them to hurry up and put him in the show. So Negan is such a popular character. I don't think the writers would risk killing him off earlier because, last time they did that with the character, when they killed him off earlier than they died in the comics, that was with Andrea, and they had a really poor reception because Andrea was supposed to live a lot longer. She's supposed to still be alive now. She was supposed to die probably in like season 10. She was supposed to live a lot longer, and Glenn Mazzara was the head writer, and he killed her off at the end of Season 3, and it had a really poor reception. It's considered probably the most controversial choice, the most controversial choice in The Walking Dead. So I don't think they're going to take that chance with Negan. Negan is pretty much their cash cow right now. He's like the most popular character. He and Daryl, like I said, he and Daryl. And out of all the characters, they've been doing Negan like the most, he's the most closely adapted character. One of the most closely adapted characters. Probably the most closely adapted character. His story, his dialogue, the decisions he makes, from killing Glenn to, making Carl sing a song, to the lines he says, to, his dialogue with Rick. Almost everything he does in the comics is adapted in the show, and it's adapted faithfully. So they're going to keep doing that. If the Season 6, Season 7, and the beginning of Season 8 are any indication, they're going to continue to adapt Negan's story, Negan's dialogue, almost word by word, except for the fucks, because he can't say fuck. But besides that, they're adapting it almost panel to panel, word by word. They're going to continue to faithfully adapt Negan. In the comics, his story is kind of built up like he's kind of like this decent guy that actually has a decent idea and actually wants to save people, even though he's very fucked up and he's pretty much a villain. But then he gets locked up and he kind of rehabilitates himself and becomes a bit of an anti-hero. And in the show, they're setting up that same plot line. For one thing, with Morgan building the jail, and in the comics, Rick slashes Negan's throat, and Negan is put in a jail cell. And Negan stays there for several years, and it's a new beginning, and that's when Negan eventually manages to break out. And then there's a new main villain, and then Negan kills one of them to prove himself, and then he kind of helps Rick, and then he kind of fights the new battle. I think they're going to do that exact thing in the show. I could be wrong, but I think they will, just because he's as popular as he's ever been. He's the most popular character besides Daryl. I know I keep saying that, but I think that's a big reason why they're going to continue to adapt his story faithfully like it is in the comics. They're going to keep him alive like he's still alive in the comics. They're going to continue to adapt his story like the comics, and they're just going to keep adapting a story. If Negan does die in the comics, then yeah, they might give him that death in the TV show, but they're not going to kill him off earlier than the comics. Season 8 is going to end, maybe not the last episode, but maybe the episode before it. Rick is going to slice a part of Negan's throat, and Dr. Carson is going to come up, and Rick's going to tell Dr. Carson to save Negan's life. Because Rick wants to establish peace, and like the ultimate sacrifice for peace is letting Negan live. This person that he wants to kill more than anything. You know, and other people want to kill him. Carl wants to kill him, and Rick says, no, we have to let him live to prove that we're better than him. You know, we're going to rebuild society, and we're going to lock him up like a normal civilization would lock someone up. He's going to live a long, miserable life, you know. And he finally convinces everyone, and Maggie's like, yeah, Glenn would like that. And I suspect she's going to have that exact line in the show. Lauren Cohan's going to say that exact line. She's going to be like, yeah, Glenn would like that, because that's another way to honor Glenn's memory, because that's the thing that Glenn would do. Glenn would lock Negan up and let him rot for the rest of his life, you know? So, you know, I don't know if the time skip's going to be the same, if Rick's dream, I don't know if that's actually a reality or a dream or a fantasy or a vision, but that seemed like 4 or 5 years later. And in the comics, it's like a 3 year, maybe 4 year. I don't know. It's not explicitly stated, but I think in the show the time skip might be a little longer than the comics. It might be a couple of years longer. So it might be like 5 years longer if Rick's little vision was true and real, and Judith is like 6 years old. Then, well, I guess it might be 4 years, but it's going to be probably at least 4 years later. And Negan's still going to be locked up, and he's probably going to have a beard because Jeffrey Dean Morgan has a beard. He can grow a beard really fast. So I think they're going to have that happen. Negan's going to be locked up because Negan has a beard in the comics when he's locked up. And you know, eventually Negan will escape, and eventually he'll help Rick and everyone else. Now, characters like Daryl they don't exist in the comics, and Daryl kind of has an important relationship with Negan, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. And then Morgan and Carol, they're long dead. They died much earlier in the story than they have in the show. I don't know if they'll both be alive. I hope they're both alive. At least Morgan, I hope, is still alive, because I really like Morgan. But yeah, Negan will almost definitely survive Season 8. He will get locked up at the end of the season. Rick will lock him up to prove that he's better, and it'll be kind of a friendly gesture to the other Saviors, and Dwight will take control of the Saviors of the Sanctuary, and he'll be like, look, we don't have to be afraid of Negan anymore. I will be your new leader, and Negan will be locked up for several years. And there's one line I really hope they find a way to put it in, but in the comics, in the last part, the very last page of All Out War, Rick is looking at Negan, who's, you know, he's still in bad shape because he just got his throat cut open, but he's gonna live, and he's conscious, and he's like, yeah, what's gonna happen now? And Rick's like, we won. You know, we're gonna rebuild civilization. You're gonna die a miserable old man. You are fucked. I really want Rick to actually have that line in the show. What they do with Rick is every now and then in the DVD release, he actually says fuck. I think he said it 2 or 3 times, at least 2 times. And I think that would be like the line to have Andrew Lincoln say it. I would just love to see Andrew Lincoln look at Negan and be like, you're fucked. Like, just, that'd be perfect. But yeah, Negan is he's not going anywhere. He's not going to die at the end of Season 8. He is going to get locked up. I can guarantee it 99.9%. I could be wrong, but I think he's going to live. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. Please subscribe. We are almost at 250 subscribers, or 12 subscribers away, guys. 12 subscribers away. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm making several videos a day, so please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate all the support. Anyway, I'm Spencer Rhodes. I will see you guys later. Bye.